Hi and welcome to Voodoo Nation Production. This is your host Patrick. Recently over the holiday I decided I wanted to build a 10-inch drone, and I went with the Foxeer 10-inch frame, and I think it's called Aura 10-inch. Once I was done building that, I realized I needed a bigger battery, and the prices of the batteries were around $250 for 6S2P, so I decided to build my own. I went ahead and bought some Molicel 21700, both my Foxeer 10-inch and my Chimera 7. Can't fly those batteries easily. I get around 25 minutes or so with the Foxeer, and around 15-ish with the Chimera. So without further ado, let's go through the process of building it. I would appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button and notifications so that when I release new videos, I can share whatever that I build in the future. I went ahead and installed the lithium-ion batteries in these plastic tabs and attached them together. I'm going to go ahead and put these little green paper that goes on the plus side. These are going to protect the batteries from shorting while we are doing welding with the nickel strips. And I'm going to go ahead and shrink wrap them here where they all stay securely in one place and don't move around. And now I'm going to go ahead and put double-sided tape around it that has a little foam on it. That way I can install some cardboards around the battery to keep them securely in place. Now we're gonna, this is my second pack I'm gonna make. I'm using my welder that I purchased from AliExpress, and I had to actually modify it so it doesn't die. It actually shorted the first time I tried it, but now these are Molicel 45B. So this should give us about 9,000 milliamp total. So we're gonna go ahead and start welding these. First I'm gonna weld all of these individually, the two together, and then we're gonna do the rest. It's pretty tight in there. Just verify and make sure that it's sitting there tightly. And then we're gonna continue on the second node. Second battery. These are both negative. We're going to continue down the list here one by one, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side now. So I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to finish all of these individually, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and then do this side. Then we're going to connect them in serial afterward. Right now we're doing the parallel connection. Just finished welding all the packs. So we're gonna, here, this is the top, and this is the bottom. And now we're gonna put we're gonna put an additional cable here where it's gonna carry a lot of current in the serial connections. So it's gonna be one here, one here, one here, and two here. For this to work, it needs to be able to carry around 40-50 amp, and I don't want to stack up a bunch of these on nickel plates on top of each other. I'm just gonna put a thicker cable here that is gonna be used to carry the current, and I'm gonna just solder these on top. Now we're going to prepare the wires. I'm gonna pre-solder the tips. That way when we put it on the nickel, it's not going to warm up as much. Okay, now we're gonna do the same thing with the battery tips here. Just put a little bit of solder on each one. Here's the positive and negative where you're gonna attach the positive and negative cable. These are the ones that are going to carry the current mostly, so we want to make sure that they are welded well. And I'm going to go ahead and pause the video while I finish the rest of them. There's going to be 2 here and 3 in the back. Now we're going to do the back side. I just pre-soldered a little bit on the where we're going to put the red wires that's going to carry the serial connections. So I'm gonna go ahead and weld these now. Let's see. I'm gonna pause the video and I'm gonna finish the rest of the other 3, or the other 2. Just finished both sides here. So this is the back. And they're all welded nice, and then this is the top. And in order to make this part even, I'm going to put some foam here to even it out and actually give it some cushion as well, so that in case it hits the ground, or when you're going to put it on the drone, it's even, so it doesn't bounce around. I just went ahead and soldered the 3 wires that are going to be used for balance lead. Each one of these are, by measuring the voltage, we're going to see which one goes to which lead from the red all the way to the end. So we're going to go through that with the voltmeter later on to take a look. So we're going to connect all of these to the minus side. So we're gonna move to the next side now, and we have the 3 more on the other side that we need to finish, actually 4 more. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video. I'm gonna solder those, and then I'll be back. So from our lead cable, the first one goes to the plus here, and the first one goes to plus, and the rest of them, this is going to be the first cell, second cell, and so on. And the voltage as you go through each one of these gets higher. So the last one is basically our minus, which will be here, which will give us the full voltage of the battery. I'm gonna go ahead and pre-solder my negative and positive and prepare those so we can weld those ahead of time, and then I'll do the leads afterward. I'm gonna go ahead and actually cover these with the thermal tape to make sure that we don't create any short while we're working on the battery. So I'm going to cover all of these both sides, and then we can on the side. So now the bottom is all covered up. I'm going to go ahead and turn it around and solder the main minus and positive and negative. And once I'm done with the positive and negative, then I'm going to do the leads here, and then I'm going to actually connect the cable over here. So let me pre-solder the wire and get the wire ready. Measure this cable here, and then I'm gonna add positive. The positive is going to go on the black flat side, and the negative is going to go on the round side. So positive goes on the flat side, negative goes on the round side. So now we're done with the positive side. I'm going to continue on the negative side. Make sure this is tight and sitting there well. And pre-tin the negative side. Now that we have both sides soldered, I'm going to go ahead and put the cover on it. I got these from Amazon. They come in a, I think it was a 25 pack for like, I don't know, $10 or something. So now it's inserted and it's ready. I would suggest that we actually test to make sure that there is no short here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a voltmeter and test to make sure there is no short between these two before I actually put it on the battery, just to be on the safe side. So let's make sure, let's first make sure, okay. Now I'm going to take the two side of the wire just to make sure that there is no shortage, and it's not. And then I'm going to go ahead and solder these on the battery. I'm going to hold the red side in my hand so I don't short anything. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on the negative side. And I'm going to continue putting the rest of the lead cables in here. So the last one from the, I guess the last one from this side, which is not the red one, goes to negative, and the first one goes to the positive side of the battery. So we're going to start with the negative one, and then we're going to measure and then keep going down the line. So I'm going to go ahead and take this. The next one is going to be, this is 22 volt. So we're going to measure, the next one is going to be on the other side. So let's find which cable is the next one. $17. So it's this one in the middle. So the first one was 21, the second one is 17. So I'm going to go ahead and solder this. This is the one that was 17 volt, and I'll pause the video for a second and I'll be back. So now I'm done with the second cable, soldered and covered. This is again the second cable from the right. First one is done, second one, so the third one is going to go on top, and on the minus side we're going to measure the voltage just to be sure. So let me go ahead and measure the voltage one more time. So it should be around 16, 15. So 14 volt is the next one. So the first one was 21, the second one was 17, this one is 14 volt. And it's gonna go on the minus side here. Next one is going to be again at the bottom side, which should be around 11 volt, I think. Yep, so it's going to be the next one, that's 10 volt. Next one is going to be the 7 volt on this side. Let's measure that. That's this one right here. It's going to be 7 volt on the minus side. I'm going to yank it just to make sure it's tight. And our next wire is going to be 3 volt, which is going to be the one at the bottom. I'm going to measure last wire, 3.5, perfect. I'm going to yank it, I'm just going to make sure it's tight, not coming off. And I'm going to go ahead and now we're done with all the wires, and the last one that's left is going to be our red one, which is going to go to positive here. So let's measure that. Okay, it's tight in there. Our positive came loose and tightened it. So just make sure everything is tight, all the wires, before we put the insulation on the batteries. Everything is there. Now we're gonna go ahead and check the voltage on all the cells. Make sure they are going in order. I'm gonna start with the positive, and we should go up one at a time. This first one should be 3.5, 7, 10, 14, 17, and 21. Now that all the wires are in place, I'm going to put some padding at the bottom, and at the same time make sure that the bottom is even with the rest of the cables that we put down there. I'm going to go ahead and test the battery before we put the insulation on. All of our cells are reporting the right voltage, 3.5 exactly on each one, 351 and 21 volt total. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this out, and I'm going to shrink wrap the battery. I'm going to measure the length of the battery, and then I'll go ahead and cut this. So now this is done. I'm going to go ahead and shrink wrap this using a heat gun. I'll pause this video. I'll go ahead and use my heat gun to shrink wrap this, and I'll show you guys the result when it's done. Here is our 2 packs of lithium-ion battery. Both are Molicel 45B. We're going to get 9,000 milliamp out of these. So I think these are going to last for a while.